Welcome back to Matriarchs of the Wilderness, the women who built New France. In our first episodes, we explored the harsh realities and incredible resistance of the first women settlers and then the Hospitaliers. Today, we journey deeper into the heart of the 17th century colony to meet a woman driven not by the promise of marriage, but by a powerful divine calling. This is the story of a visionary who traded a life of comfort in France for a mission in the untamed wilds of Quebec. A woman whose faith became the foundation for education in a new world. This is the story of Marie de l'Incarnation. Born Marie Gaillard in Tours, France, in 1599, she spent her early life balancing profound spirituality with worldly duty. From a young age, she experienced intense mystical visions, feeling a deep pull toward a life devoted to God. Yet her path was not a direct one to the convent. Following her family's wishes, she married a silk merchant, Claude Martin, and soon gave birth to a son, also named Claude. But fate intervened. Just 2 years into their marriage, her husband died, leaving Marie, a young widow with an infant son and a struggling business to manage. For years, she balanced the demands of single motherhood and running her brother-in-law's transportation company, all while her spiritual fervor grew ever stronger. Her visions continued to guide her, shaping her destiny. One vision, in particular, was so vivid it would alter the course of her life forever. A vast, mist-covered landscape, a foreign shore where she was called to build a house for Jesus and Mary. She didn't know it yet, but she was seeing the future side of Quebec. At 31, after ensuring her son was well cared for, Marie finally answered her lifelong call. She entered the Ursuline convent in Tours, taking the name Marie de l'Incarnation. But the vision of that distant, wild land never left her. In the 1630s, stories of New France were filtering back to Europe, of a vast, formidable territory, and of the indigenous peoples who called it home. Marie learned of the Jesuits' missions and felt an overwhelming conviction that her purpose lay across the Atlantic. Her mission wasn't just to pray, it was to teach. She envisioned a school where the daughters of French settlers and the girls of the local indigenous nations, the Algonquin, the Wendat, and the Innu could learn together. It was a radical idea for its time, a testament to her belief in the equal worth of all souls in God's eyes. In 1639, after years of determined fundraising and navigating church bureaucracy, Marie de l'Incarnation, along with 2 other Ursuline nuns and a wealthy benefactress, set sail for New France. The crossing was perilous, a 3-month ordeal of storms and sickness. When they finally arrived in the fledgling settlement of Quebec, they were greeted by a reality far harsher than any story could have conveyed. It was little more than a collection of rough-hewn wooden buildings huddled beneath the imposing rock of Cape Diamond, a remote outpost surrounded by an immense, seemingly endless forest. Undeterred, they set to work immediately. Within weeks, they established their first makeshift school in a small house in the lower town and welcomed their first pupils. Life was a constant struggle against the elements and uncertainty in 1600s New France. The brutal Canadian winters, the scarcity of food, and the ever-present threat of conflict between colonial powers and warring indigenous nations tested their resolve daily. Yet Marie's faith was her fortress. She dedicated herself to learning the languages of the local peoples, becoming fluent in Algonquin and Iroquois, and proficient in Wendat. This was not merely for practical communication. It was an act of profound respect. It enabled her to build bridges of trust and understanding, allowing her to compile the first dictionaries in the Algonquin and Iroquois languages, which served as valuable tools for subsequent scholars. Her school grew, and in 1642, the cornerstone was laid for a permanent Ursuline monastery, the first institution of learning for women in North America. Here, French and Indigenous girls learned to read, write, and practice domestic arts, sharing a space of education in a world often defined by division. Marie de l'Incarnation was more than just a teacher. She was a prolific writer and a keen observer of her time. Her extensive correspondence, thousands of letters sent back to her son and patrons in France, provides one of the most detailed and intimate accounts of life in early New France. Through her eyes, we see the colony's daily workings, the complex social dynamics between the French and various indigenous groups, and the spiritual struggles and triumphs of a community taking root in a new land. Her writings are an invaluable historical treasure, offering a rare female perspective on the founding of a nation. She labored in Quebec for 33 years, never returning to France, and died in 1672, leaving behind a legacy of education and cultural exchange that endures to this day. Her work laid the groundwork for a tradition of learning that would shape the very character of Quebec. The story of Marie de l'Incarnation, a matriarch driven by faith, is a crucial chapter in the history of New France. Her journey from mystic to missionary matriarch is a powerful theme that resonates in historical fiction. If you're captivated by this era, I encourage you to explore the literary historical fiction novel, The Point of No Return, by author Sharon Desrousseaux. This YouTube channel was inspired by in-depth research into the lives of incredible women like Marie. A newly updated version, complete with graphics, is available on Amazon and as an audiobook on Audible. Thank you for joining us on Matriarchs of the Wilderness. In our next episode, Midwives and Healers, we explore the women who drew on their knowledge from France and the wilds of their new home in New France. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to continue our journey into the lives of the women who built a new world. Until next time.